win. Please, Lord, let me win.
Enough of that. What is up, Chasethatcoin family? I'm not even going to wait for anybody to enter the broadcast because today we have a lot to discuss. Let's jump straight into it. Gnosis. For those of you who have not seen Adam Meister's latest This Week in Bitcoin, I was a guest. Leon Fu was a guest. Yes for Motivation was a guest. It was a very powerful gathering in the crypto space, the crypto minds. And in that gathering, I said that the way that these ICOs are raising funds is starting to get ridiculous. All right. A lot of people are saying that Gnosis raised $300 million. I'm not exactly sure if that's true. I think they raised about $13 million, maybe 12.5, $13 million. And they had a crowd sale, which they sold 400,000 tokens. All right. Now, they're evaluating each GNO token at $31. $31, ladies and gentlemen. And my numbers might be off. I don't know. Other people's numbers might be off. I don't know. I think my numbers are close though. But $31, ladies and gentlemen, $31. I just got a text from this pretty girl, but she plays a lot of games. But yeah, so $31, and it's kind of amazing. And you know what I think started this whole trend of ridiculous evaluations? I was gonna say BlockPay. BlockPay's evaluation was a little bit ridiculous, but it wasn't nowhere near this ridiculous. You know what kind of started this? I think once cryptocurrencies saw Zcash start at a ridiculous number, they just say, you know what? We can do it too. All right. They're evaluating themselves at 3 times as much as what Augur is currently priced at. All right. And mind you, Augur didn't start at this evaluation. In my opinion, Augur should not be worth what it's worth right this second. I think Augur is way overvalued simply because we need a solid working I need a solid working product for me to be giving you a high evaluation. All right, this isn't high as far as like mainstream regular markets, as far as like the stock market and all of this stuff, but this is very high for cryptocurrency. Another thing that I want to say is that people did some research, and I'm not going to go 100% with what they say, but they say that 140,000 Ether was already in the ICO before the public got to even send in funds. You know what this reminds me of? A lot of you may not be familiar, but venture capitalists and certain qualified investors get a chance to buy stocks before the IPO. So if the initial public offering comes out at $2, certain qualified investors get to buy the same stock at maybe 50 cents, 35 cents. So when the IPO comes out, they automatically quadrupled their money. So what 5 times would be quintuplets? Something like that? I don't know. Whatever. Today we have a lot to discuss. Today is a crazy day in cryptocurrencies. Well, people who invested in Gnosis, I tell you one thing. When a coin is overvalued the way this coin has been, you can expect an initial dump. All right. And even if it doesn't initially dump, it is going to be hard for it to grow even more because they've already evaluated the growth into the coin from the launch. All right. And Poloniex has already come out and said that they're going to be listing this coin 1 week after the crowd fund is done. I'm assuming that the crowd fund is done now. All right. So that is that. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about MoonBeam. MoonBeam, you guys can check this out on Reddit. MoonBeam could, quote unquote, scale Bitcoin within days. MoonBeam is something like Segwit. No, I want to say it's more like the Lightning Network. That's what it's more like. It's more like the Lightning Network. It has to do with registered domain names, kind of. I don't want to really butcher it, all right? But it is a solution that is already on testnet and livenet. And the creators are saying that this can scale Bitcoin within days. All right. Now, the article was nothing but positives. I wanted to, you guys can go on the either the RBTC subreddit or the R cryptocurrency subreddit and easily find this. All right. I believe that, I want to give you some good content and all that, but I don't want to do 100% of the research for you. That's taken away. Cryptocurrency, we have to get used to doing our own research and doing our own due diligence, just like we want to store our own private keys and blah, blah, blah. All right, but it is a side chain solution, if I could describe it as anything. All right, but the article was nothing but positives. And a lot of people are saying that it isn't that decentralized or trustless. I am not a super technical person. My expertise are within chart analysis, trading, and just my raw opinion. I think I bring a different flavor of opinion to cryptocurrencies. One, because I'm a realist. All right, consider myself a realist. Despite what I want to happen, I am a realist, first of all. So yeah, so the article was just nothing but positive, what it could do. It would have been a lot better if they would have they did say that Lightning Network and MoonBeam both have their pros and cons, but they didn't list enough cons, because if they would have outright listed the cons and said, okay, yeah, these are the cons, but we have X, Y, and Z to combat the cons, or this is why, it would have been a lot better. But they did say that MoonBeam can be a temporary solution. And they also did say that if MoonBeam is implemented, which I personally don't think it's going to be implemented, all right, I'm not sure if wallets can implement it themselves. I think they can. But I don't think it's going to be implemented widespread. It works as, let's say you want to send a Bitcoin transaction. All right, your Bitcoin address would have a plus sign plus an additional MoonBeam address. All right, and the addresses would be grouped together. Yeah, so they said that it would be it could work side by side with something like a Lightning Network. Yeah, so I'm not going to really give my opinion on that because I'm not technical enough to give my full opinion on it. But my opinion is it won't be implemented widespread. Let me check my notes. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, Humanique. There is information. I don't know if it's true or false, but there is information out there saying that Humanique is using stolen email addresses from the DAO attack, from the DAO attack, to mass spam users. So they're using stolen email addresses, allegedly. Let me say that. Allegedly, they're using stolen email addresses to mass spam users. And the only reason I can say that this is possibly true is because I have two email addresses. I have my Chasethatcoin email address and I have my personal email address. All right, my personal email address is what I would use in my earlier days when I wanted to sign up for certain ICOs, information about them. Ardor and certain ones have this personal email address. And I checked it the other day, and Humanique emailed me on that address. Now, mind you, I get emails from ICOs wanting me to do videos about their ICO and things like that all the time. But they email me at chasethatcoin@gmail. They don't email my personal email address. All right. So I would notice if an ICO is emailing my personal email, especially if I didn't give it to them. So I know for a fact that I did not give Humanique my personal email address, and they emailed me somehow, some way. And then I noticed that this morning, and then I saw the information and article about this later on. All right, so it's being said that Humanique is using stolen email addresses from the DAO attack to mass spam people. And this is very easily done. All kinds of information is sold. All kind of stolen information is sold online that people can buy. They can buy whole lists of people's names, email addresses, blah, 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 for small fees. All right. So allegedly, Humanique is doing this. Hold up. Hold on. Wait, I want to check the chat really quick. Okay. Etymology says get ready for big short in 1 week. A big short on what? Bitcoin or what? Richie Rich says, damn, you smoking some good weed, son. I don't smoke weed, Richie Rich. I did have some wine though, but I don't smoke weed. I have smoked weed. I used to smoke a lot of weed, but I don't smoke weed anymore. Honest to God truth. Kenneth Bozak, awesome. Ardor, 13 something. Blah, 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 blah. MoonBeam, can somebody provide a link? Richie Rich, I don't smoke weed, but you can go on the our cryptocurrency link within Reddit or our Bitcoin, and MoonBeam, it's right there. If you want to see the people's opinions on the cons of MoonBeam, I would go to the our Bitcoin, because people chime in a lot more within our Bitcoin. On the our cryptocurrency, people like it or they just review it. They don't really say anything unless it's pertaining to cryptocurrency. But the our Bitcoin subreddit, if it's something to do with Bitcoin and people don't agree with it, they're going to chime in automatically and they're going to say their opinions, their pros, their cons, blah, blah, blah. But I don't smoke weed, Rich. All right, yeah. Any questions about what's going on? Yeah, Ethereum Classic is going up like I predicted it would. If it continues to go up really sharply, you know, what goes up must retrace. And then after it retraces, if the market truly values it, it will push back up. Pivx sold off, bounced back a little bit, but I think it can continue to sell off some. But the story of the day is Gnosis with a $31 evaluation. That's the story of the day. And also the story of the day is Rich spreading FUD saying that I'm smoking weed. Now I'm messing with you, Rich. I'm messing with you. I have no problem with weed though. I used to smoke a lot of weed. I used to smoke a lot of weed. But I haven't smoked weed in a long time. Can I share my methodology of picking an ICO? One of the things that I look for in an ICO is if I think that what are they trying to do? And see, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand. An ICO can have a good idea, right? They can have a good idea, but is it an overzealous idea? All right. And the reason that that is important is because something like Uber, there's a lot of mainstream applications and companies, right, that had a simple idea that took them millions of dollars to bring to the table. All right. Now, these ICOs have even more zealous ambitions and ideas than something simple as Uber, right? But they raise a tiny bit of money. All right. Now, if they take all of their holdings and stealth sell, a stealth sell or a stealth buy is when you sell enough where it won't really move the market downward too much at once, and you just continuously do that, like a stealth buy. If I want to buy 50 Bitcoins worth of Ethereum Classic, I'm not going to just put in an order for 50 Bitcoins and press and put in an order for 50 Bitcoins. One, because the whole market is going to see that. All right. And the market may start to buy the coin up before my order gets filled. And two, if my order starts to get filled, my order itself is going to start to push the price up. So you want to stealth buy. The only way that the ICOs are going to really get more money than what they raised initially is if they stealth sell their own holdings. But then if they do that, they're gambling against themselves because they're selling off their position in the company. They're selling today and not worrying about tomorrow. So the coin can go up a lot in value. And if they do that, they won't have any coins to sell. All right. So that's why coins may stealth sell some of them, but they're not going to stealth sell off the whole position. And if they do that, then you would have to be forced to think that they don't believe in the project as much as they should. All right. I got on my Breaking Bad Los Pollos shirt. But that's one of the things that I look at while evaluating the ICO. Another thing I look at is the ICOs is whether they have a lot of typos or bad grammar within their website. That's a turnoff because you didn't proofread this multiple times to see if you, and it's one thing because some of these ICOs, they have their programmers and the main guys, they're not from America, you know, so they don't, their dialect isn't the same as ours. You could pay somebody to present it in proper English. So if you didn't even take the time to do that, then I don't know. There's a bunch of different things that I look at when looking at ICO. Yes. Richie says he doesn't trust it because it's on Bitcoin.com. That's one of the things when I saw it, I was like, wow, I'm surprised that Bitcoin.com even shared this. Yeah, Richie says it's probably a good excuse to keep the ASIC boost. You might have a point there, Richie. Richie also says the Bitcoin scaling debate is about ASIC boost, and that's it. Yes, behind the moral of the gist of it is people that want to safely scale Bitcoin and people that want to keep a mining advantage. All right. Now, if I think that if miners start tapping into their ASIC boost, you know, some of them might have amp miners. Amp miners are a little certain ones are a little bit, you know, whatever. But if other miners start tapping into their ASIC boost and they think that segregated witness is going to dilute their profit, then of course they're going to be against it. But if you read into MoonBeam, MoonBeam will also be a cheaper alternative and a quicker alternative, all right? Because it's going to group the transactions, all right? It's going to group the transactions, making it cheaper, and it's also going to allow for transactions without confirmations. All right, but that's also kind of shaky because we know that the way the blockchain system is set up, the confirmations is what's going to keep us safe. You know, so it gets deep. I can understand it and I can come up to my own conclusions, but I couldn't give you a solid, just cut and dry, okay, this is why it's bad, because I'm not super technical. But I can say my own opinion because I do understand it, but I'm not technical enough to break it down whether it's good or bad. All right. But I am surprised that Bitcoin.com shared that. Thoughts on Mobile Go? Mobile Go, the only thought that I have on Mobile Go is it's going to be probably Waves platform biggest ICO to date. And it's also going to be able to interact with Ethereum. So I don't really know how much of the credit Waves platform is going to get, but it says something about Waves platform. It says that, okay, yeah, Ethereum is the main printing press because that's what Ethereum mainly is right now, at least. It's a printing press. But Waves platform may be a competitive printing press also. Yeah. So do you guys have any more questions? I don't want to drag this one out. I wasn't even going to make a video, but I'm trying to be a lot more consistent. I think my channel could be a lot bigger than what it is, but I blame myself for not being as consistent as I can be. So I am working on that. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more A channel, quickly, a channel that I stumbled upon. There's a lot of different cryptocurrency channels that are coming out. But a channel that I think is underrated, he has a lot of different opinions, and I can tell that he's a big fan of Ethereum. But Tommy Economics is an underrated channel. He has some interesting point of views. And another channel that I just stumbled upon that's pretty good is there's a lot of them. There's a lot of new ones. Some of them I watch just for entertainment because these guys are funny to me. Like, I don't watch them for to get good content or like anything like, that was, I just watch them for entertainment. But this one I think is really good, is underrated, which is box mining. And I'm going to try to reach out to him and maybe do a collaboration with him. Who knows? But I like his channel. Well, there's no new questions, and I'm not going to drag this one out. Please like and subscribe. Like, first of all, and mainly, if you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Let's boost the Chase That Coin family. Look in the description if you would like to donate. I have multiple altcoins, PayPal, all that stuff if you would like to donate. If you would like to take my one-on-one cryptocurrency trading course, because I do a breakdown of chart analysis, price action. I do my own personal ESE/CCP method. Of course, I can go into detail of what they are, but you would have to sign up for that. And it's one-on-one. It's just me and you. And a lot of my students have been happy with that. If you'd like to do that, email me, chasethatcoin@gmail.com. Or if you want to just say, hey, if you have another question, depending on what it is, most likely I'll answer back to you. Follow me on Twitter @chasethatcoin.com, and keep chasing that coin, ladies and gentlemen.